In this video, I will be teaching you how to conjugate verbs in the future tense and in the passive voice. So when we look at verbs, we have our stem, our connecting vowel, and our personal ending. And right in between the vowel and the personal ending is where we put any tense markers if we need one. And so, what do we do in the future? Do you remember your rhyme? In conjugations 1 and 2, you must use bo, bi, boo. In conjugations 4 and 3, you must use A and E, ham and 5 eggs. So keep that in mind. Right now we're looking at a first conjugation though. So I'm using that bi. So I end up with meaning love, to connect, bi telling me future, will, enter telling me third person singular passive. So he, she, or it will be loved. So if I wanted to look at a future in the active, so this example is active, you saw I did the same thing, stem, vowel, bo, bi, boo, and then the personal endings. So to create this new tense, I need to take off those personal endings and add in our new ones. So I would end up with still a ma, still bo, but then I need to add on our new ending, r. When I come down into the second person, I would take ama, biris. The only problem here is that what happened when that short I got stuck between a consonant and an R? Do you remember that when we did the third conjugation? Yeah, that's right. So we're going to have to change that I to a short E. So our form ends up being amaberis. And then in the third person, singular, we'd have A to connect, back to the bi, ter, and then when we come into the plural, amabimer, amabimini, and amabunter. So we can see that the only really special thing that's happening, other than just taking off those red endings on the sides that ST most descent, is that over here we have that special short E that from that short I getting trapped before the R. So if we wanted to look at, and then remember in conjugations 4 and 3, we must use A and E. So if we want to look at the future for all of our verbs in the passive, what we just looked at would be one like this, where we've got bor, beris, with that E. Bitter, bimmer, bimini, bunter. Second conjugation will work the same way, so we're seeing that E again. When you come into the third conjugation, we're using ham and 5 eggs, except we're using our new endings, ris, ter, mer, mini, enter. So A in the beginning, E the rest of the way through. Third IO, same thing, but we have to keep the I as if it's part of the stem. And then fourth, again, keeping the I as part of the stem, and then adding our A's and our E's. When we come into, when we think about all of these forms together, some special notes are that in conjugations 1 and 2, we do have that short B-E-R-I-S right here, short E instead of an I. And then in conjugations 4 and 3, where we're using the A and E, the materis, you guys see this right here? Materis here, but materis here. Because this is where we have that E change, the same one that we're seeing up here, we saw already down here in the present passive. That means that materis with a short E, which you can see right here, is present. But materis with a long E is future. So those macra really do matter. And that is how you conjugate in the future passive. In terms of translating, for any of these, since we're translating, we're putting the future tense part in with the word will, and then the passive part with the helping verb to be, which in this case will actually just come out as be after the word will, and then the verb in its past form, its ED form, and that'll all work out. So for example, if I thought about this form right here, it'll all work out to show us the future because the ter part, so I'm in Moe bitur, the ter part will be he, she, or it. I'm going to just do he for an example. And then that also tells me that it's passive, the be, ed, and then the bi part will tell me future. So I'd say will, and then the moe part tells me move. So I know he will be moved for that form right there, moe bitur. So if I went through that whole conjugation, moe bor, I will be moved, moe beris, you will be moved, moe bitur, he, she, it will be moved, moe bimor, we will be moved, moe bimini, you all will be moved, and moe buntor, they will be moved. So we're getting, again, the future out of using the word will, and the passive out of the fact that we're using the helping verb to be, and then the past participle form of the verb, which is the verb in ed if it's a normal verb. If it's an irregular verb, we might have like it will be sung, the book will be read. So we have these words that don't follow the standard just simple ed pattern, but you're really used to all of those. They'll come out of your mouth naturally after the word be. And that's what you're practicing today. So you have a worksheet to go through and conjugate, not just in the future though. You're going to do first. So first on the worksheet, you are going to do the active voice. So that's our O or M, S, T, most, is, endings, plus in the present. So that's just stem plus vowel plus OST, most, is, the imperfect where we add the BA, and the future where we add bo, bi, boo, or A and E. Then you're going to go over and do the passive ones, the present, which is what we've been working on all of last week. So that's taking the stem plus the vowel, and then aorist term reminienter, the imperfect where we add BA, and then the future, which is what we just talked about. So BI or A and E, plus those endings aorist term reminienter. So over here on the active side, that's your O or M, S, T, mus, tis, ent. And then on the passive side, it's our new ones, aris, ter, mer, mini, inter. And in the present, you're not adding anything special. In the imperfect, for all of them, you're adding BA. For the future, you're either doing bo, bi, boo, or you're doing A and E. So that should kind of help you as you're thinking about your charts. If you get stuck, you can always use the appendix in your book. Thank you.